Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check.
Yeah, okay, I see levels.
All right, cool. I'm gonna switch this back off. Alrighty. Alrighty, hey everyone, meteorologist Anthony Carpino. Thanks for joining us again. We just want to give you guys a quick update as you're heading out the door this Sunday afternoon. I do have my phone here in front of me, so I'll be able to answer any questions that you guys have about the forecast and give you guys some updates of what we saw from earlier in the day. So thanks everyone that's already watching. Danny, thanks for watching with me. Well, let's go through what we've seen earlier, and we'll talk about what we can expect as we go through the next couple of hours. So earlier, Chris did issue that first alert weather day, and we're going to stick with that as we continue through the rest of our Sunday and heading through later on tonight and early Monday morning. Really going to kick this back into gear as we get closer to about 6 o'clock tonight, lasting through early tomorrow morning. The times will be adjusted a little bit, but the overall sense is later on this evening into the overnight period, we're going to have another potential for a few more rounds of heavier showers and storms, some of which could be on the strong to severe side. That does include, like what we saw earlier, the possibility of some very gusty winds, some large hail, and maybe an isolated tornado, especially in some of our southern counties. So let's continue on through talking about what we can expect going through the next few hours. The good news is that right at 1 o'clock, we were able to see both the severe thunderstorm watches and the tornado watches be allowed to expire. So the only thing that's left over is that flash flood watch that's in effect for pretty much all of our western counties. And you can see that kind of trailing back all the way through western sections and central sections of Georgia. So we are going to see that flood threat continue for the rest of the day. In fact, I think that's what most of us will end up having to worry about more, is going to be that steady rainfall versus any active severe weather out there. So as we continue on through the rest of today, here's something that's very interesting. So the afternoon update came out, and it actually didn't change at all for us here in the CSRA. We're still under that level 2 slight risk and even level 1 risk for some of our northern counties. They did increase the threat for severe weather in Mississippi and Alabama. That was only at a level 3 earlier in the day. They've upped that even more to a level 4. That's a moderate risk for severe weather. So very high threat for them. Fortunately, not as high here locally in the CSRA. They have a higher tornado threat than we do, so that's also some good news for us, at least. The highest tornado threat I'm thinking is going to be along and south of I-20, more likely south of the Augusta area, only because we've seen some cooler temperatures here. The rain today really helped stabilize the air, not so much in some of our southern counties. Now, we've also kept that highest hail threat south of the Augusta area. That's what you see there in that hashed mark. So that's about a 10% risk at hail 2 inches in diameter. So that's that significant hail threat there. So keeping an eye on that potential as we go through this evening. And here's those temps that I mentioned earlier. We're a little bit cooler here in Augusta, Evans, Thompson, Edgefield, our northern counties, thanks to that rainfall that we saw. But there is a decent cutoff in those temperatures. Look at Sylvania, Wrightsville, Swainsboro coming in with temperatures into the mid-70s, right around 75 to 77 degrees. Those kind of conditions will still produce or potentially could produce severe weather as we go through a little bit later on this evening. So also kind of keep that in mind as you're heading out the door. Maybe you are in some of those counties, didn't see a lot of activity this morning. You'll likely have the potential as we go through this evening. We did have a tornado warning earlier this morning, and we actually had a confirmed tornado move through Milledgeville. In fact, it actually damaged, they had several problems with the hospital there. So we're going to keep a close eye on the news coming out of Milledgeville, and they also had some damage to their EMA building. Now, as we continue through the next few hours, we'll also kind of watch the potential for this line of showers to eventually start sinking off further to the south. So places south of Augusta will have the greatest chance for maybe a few stronger showers and storms as we go through this evening. Right now, we still have a flash flood warning in effect for some of our more western counties, that one ribbon of rain that's been holding out there, and a few scattered showers kind of sprinkled in. Definitely not as heavy as what we saw earlier this morning, so that is some good news for us. That flash flood warning goes in, will expire about 4:30 this afternoon. And we did have an aerial flood advisory for Aiken County. That was allowed to expire, and fortunately right now the precip isn't as heavy as before. So definitely some good news there, but we have seen a lot of rainfall in this one little ribbon stretching from Aiken County in Wagner all the way through our western counties, and this line actually keeps going through central Georgia, even into Alabama. So a very long stretch of heavy rainfall. Just outside of the CSRA, Milledgeville, they got between 3 and 5 inches of rainfall. Some of our western counties got between about 4 and 3 inches and even around 2 inches or so. This is just, again, radar estimated, but still a good amount of rainfall, especially in Columbia County, around the Augusta area, and then also kind of trailing into Aiken County, seeing some higher totals there between about 2 and possibly even 3 inches. We did get a few storm reports there, reports of hail. We got a lot of comments out of Columbia County seeing pea-size hail, penny-size hail, even a couple quarter-size hail reports. Thompson seeing that, and then in Aiken County, we actually had a couple flood reports. And check this out. Where was this one at? This was flooding at the intersection of Augusta Road and Howlandville Road. So they actually had water coming out of the manhole there. So flood report there in Aiken County. Now they also had a couple hail reports there. Law enforcement reported dime-size hail on I-20 near mile marker 15, and that was kind of verified there with radar. Now in Columbia County, going over to Grovetown, we've gotten some social media reports there of at least quarter-size hail, and we had a couple reports in Columbia County of hail of that size. Going over to McDuffie County, 911 caller received a report of flooding at the intersection of Wrightsboro Road and Noble Street Extension. So they're also seeing a little bit of that, just a lot of water, and that caused a few issues out there. So let us know what you guys are seeing out there. Okay, Jackie says that they got dime-size hail this morning. And guys, I do appreciate you guys letting us know what you guys have seen. If you were able to take any pictures from earlier, please send that to our First Alert Weather app. You can open the phone right up, and that will be a button at the bottom of your screen. You can just click, you can take a picture, or you can upload pictures that's on your camera roll. We'd love to see those. That's the easiest way for us to get that. We get an email right when you send that in, and we're able to kind of add that to our collection and then share all that with you guys later on into the day. So please, if you can, send us some of those pictures from earlier, or if there's any damage that you've seen, and then we can relay that to the National Weather Service too. So that is a big help. Let's go through the hour-by-hour forecast. By about 4 o'clock, we're still seeing a few lighter showers out there. Then as we get closer to about 8, 9 o'clock or so, notice that potential for a few discrete scattered showers and storms. This is where we could have another round of severe weather possibly. We have those temperatures that are still going to be very mild out there. If that boundary lifts further up to the north, we could get a good rush of warm air there, and then that could set off a few more storms later on this evening. Now, we're not done with the rainfall. Tomorrow's expected to be wet as well, and we're going to have another round of severe storms as a possibility. Maybe not as widespread, but this is as we get closer to tonight around midnight, 11:30 this evening, seeing another wave of showers and storms. Notice those pinks on the screen there. That will be the potential for maybe even some stronger storms. So we're not done tonight. We're going to even see that continue in early Monday morning, and then by Monday afternoon, that becomes a little bit more isolated in nature, and then we finally start to dry things out as we go through Monday night, and a few more showers left over throughout the day on Tuesday. So keep all of that in mind as we go through the next 12 hours or so. We're not out of the woods yet. We're getting a little bit of break right now, and that will do us some good in the flooding regard. Give the chance for everything to drain a little bit before we get some more rainfall out there. This is the severe outlook as we go through the day tomorrow. We do have that isolated severe threat, marginal risk there, isolated coverage. But as what we just saw from some of those, what we saw from some of the hour-by-hour forecast from before, did show some of those discrete cells. So that's something that we're going to have to watch as we go through the day tomorrow. I think the greatest severe threat is going to be happening as we go through tomorrow morning and through about midday or so, and then maybe an isolated storm or a heavier shower as we head through tomorrow afternoon. So keep all that in mind over the next 24 hours. We're not done with the rain just yet. Over the next couple of days, we are going to just see those showers and storm potential continue through about Tuesday, and then by Wednesday and Thursday, we're drying things out a little bit more temperature-wise, a little bit cooler there at 67, and then we're going to get into the 80s, getting closer to Friday, maybe a few more showers as a possibility as we head through the day on Saturday. Now, if you guys have any questions for me, that was pretty much the update that I have. I really wanted to highlight what we had from the Storm Prediction Center, their update, and then going through some of those hour-by-hour forecasts. What I can do, let me see if I can go back to the radar, and let's see if I can move this guy around for us here. Now I have to like use 3 hands here. So actually, let me just go with the computer and I'll be able to do all this in a better way for you guys to see. So we'll just talk about some of the showers that are out there right now, which the good news is we're getting a chance to somewhat dry things out. It's not as heavy as earlier. So we're using both the radar in Harlem as well as the network of National Weather Service radar. So just seeing some moderate showers going on between Washington and Crawfordville, some lighter showers in the Augusta area. Hepsville maybe seeing a little bit more of a downpour there. But we're in a lot better shape than before. We'll loop this over the last 3 hours and you can really just see that line start to fall apart. But we're not done just yet. Again, more showers are a possibility the later on we get. And because some of those southern counties did stay dry, that's why I don't want you guys to let your guard down. We'll have another wave of storms a little bit later on this evening. Definitely a possibility there. And that was pretty much my update for you guys. Let me refresh my Facebook page just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yeah, all right, so I don't think I missed anybody's questions. Again, guys, if you could, if you have any pictures that you took from earlier, we'd love to see those. That will help us out a lot, and any kind of damage report, we'll send that off to the National Weather Service. One more time, I'll look at the severe outlook for today. We still are under that level 2 slight risk to that level 1 risk here in the CS area, with the greatest severe threat in the southeast in southern sections of Alabama as well as Mississippi. So they're going to be paying close attention to that. For us, I think the greatest severe threat as we go through this evening is going to be in some of our southern counties. So kind of keep that in mind as you're heading out the door this afternoon and then through this evening. But I think that's going to do it for me here on Facebook Live, everybody. Mikkel Hannah Harding will have another update on your forecast coming up tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock. If there's no 6 o'clock show because of sports, he'll be sure to come back on here for Facebook and keep you guys posted throughout the evening. But thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a great evening.